Hello everybody, Calabus here, back with some more Hearthstone. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing you my main deck, the deck that I usually take into my ranked games and my casual play games. So most likely if you do come across me when playing and you're playing in one of those modes, I'll probably be using this deck. So we're going to go ahead as the different modes of play, just so you know. Right now there's practice, which is basically you take your deck and you just play versus the computer, the AI. You just choose which one of your decks you want to use. Like if I was going to use my paladin deck, I would choose my paladin. And then you could choose any of the computer players classes. You could either play them on normal or expert. And this just gives you a chance to play against the computer, take your time with your choices, and just learn what your deck does. It's also how you unlock decks in the beginning. Another mode that you could play is Arena. In Arena mode, you actually get to draft a deck. You get choices of 3 heroes to start off with. You choose a hero, then you build a deck, and you take that against other people that drafted decks in the similar way. And you actually try to win rewards for that. And then the other mode you could play in is Play mode, where you could either choose to play as casual, which is kind of practice mode. Just instead of doing practice against the computer, the AI, you play against other players, but the matches, win and loss matches, doesn't actually affect you in any ways. Or you could go in rank mode, where you rank up, and that's how they keep track of how well you're doing. Right now I'm at rank 18. The lower the number, the better. You start off at rank 25, and you want to try to get down to rank 1. We'll be playing that in a little bit, but before we jump into any games, let me give you a quick preview of my deck. To look at my deck, we'll go to Collection, and we're going to go to my Paladin deck, which is called Bubble Buffness, because I'm not very creative, I guess. Just starting out from the top, basically my deck has 2 major concepts to making it work. One is getting small creatures out on the board and then buffing them up so that they do damage. And then the second part is using Divine Shield minions or Divine Shield spells to protect my weaker minions to keep them alive. So start keeping those 2 things in mind. We're going to start at the top. Looking at my first cards, I got 2 Blessing of Mights. This is a 1-cost card that gives my minions +3 attack. It's a quick and cheap way to make any of my minions dangerous when they're on the field. So I got 2 of those in there. I got 2 Blessing of Wisdoms, which is a good way to add card draw to my deck. It's also important to keep in mind that you do not have to place this spell on one of your minions. You could place it on one of your opponent's minions, so that every time their creature attacks you, you're getting card draw. So if you're going to be getting attacked, you at least get cards from it. So it actually puts the choice on the other player, like, do they want to attack with their minion and then give you card draw to do it, or will they just have their minion just sit there doing nothing? So it's kind of a good way to get extra card draw or kind of slow down the enemy. Hand of Protection gives a minion a Divine Shield for 1 cost. That's just a bubble that protects them against 1 hit. So it's a good way to try to keep your weaker minions on the board so that you get a chance to buff them and play them. Argent Squire is a 1-cost 1/1 minion that already comes out with the Divine Shield. It's a good turn 1 play because there's a good chance that they can't eliminate it right away. Leper Gnome is a 1-cost 2/1 minion with the Death Rattle of dealing 2 damage to an enemy hero. I always view it as a good opening play. It's a good card to have in pretty much any deck that you make. It's a good 1-cost creature that's going to pretty much be doing damage or causing problems for the enemy right off the bat. Young Dragonhawk is one of the more important cards in this deck based on the buffness, my buffness aspect of the deck. Wind Fury means it gets to attack twice. It's a 1-cost, so I can put it out right away. It's easy to get rid of, but usually I try to keep it protected, keep it alive, either by putting the Hand of Protection on it or buffing up his life somehow. If I could basically get this creature on the board and buff him up, he's attacking twice. So even if I only put 1 Blessing of Might on this Dragonhawk, like if I make him on turn 1, the enemy can eliminate him, and then on turn 2 I put 1 Blessing of Might on him, that changes him from a 1/1 to a 4/1. and then he's attacking twice, so that's 8 damage on turn 2. So he could get out of hand fairly quickly, especially in this deck. In other decks, I usually won't take a Dragon Hawk because it's just too easy to get rid of. But with the deck built on buffing and bubbling, if I could keep this guy protected, then he could just ruin enemy teams. I got the Young Priestess, another 1-cost card that's fairly valuable in what it does. It's a 2/1, so it's easy to get rid of, but if you can keep it on the board and protect it, it's going to be buffing all your other minions with one minion gets 1 health at the end of your turn. So it's a good way to kind of buff up my weaker minions like the Leper Gnome, the Argent Squire, maybe the Dragon Hawk. Easy to get rid of, but it's only a 1-cost creature. I usually like to take at least one of these in pretty much any deck I make. Equality is one of my spell cards. It changes the health of all minions, yours and your opponent's, to 1. Since I have a lot of creatures that already have 1 life health, it doesn't really hurt me that bad, and it's a good way to kind of eliminate and make efficient trades if the enemy's stacking his board with tough creatures. It also works fairly well with my concentration spell and my Avenging Wrath, which I will be getting to in a moment. My Argent Protector is just a 2-cost creature. When he comes out, he puts a Divine Shield on one of your friendly minions. It's a good combo play whenever you, like, maybe turn 1 play a Dragon Hawk or Young Priestess, something that's going to die real easy. Turn 2 you have 2 mana, you make this guy, and then you use his shield to put it on that weaker minion that you want to try to keep around. So I got 2 of them in the deck, so he could be throwing his bubbles on people. Ironbeak Owl is a really good card. It's a cheap card. It's a 2/1 minion. It comes out and it silences a minion. Silence is an important aspect of the game. Whenever your opponent is trying to do anything crazy and you need to shut them down with their combos that they're trying to make, it's always good to have a silence in your back pocket. And a 2-cost silence that comes out with the owl, it's a pretty good deal. So I usually try to take at least 1. Usually just go for 2 pretty much with any deck that I make. I'm going to have 2 owls in it. My Blood Knight is a very valuable card, I think, in this deck. It's a kind of what just happened play. It's a 3-cost minion with 3 attack, 3 defense. Its battle cry is that for every Divine Shield on the field, it basically absorbs the shield and gets 3/3 for each shield that's taken. The shields that are taken are both on your minion and the enemy's minions. Basically, he comes out, he eats any bubble he sees in sight, and for each bubble he eats, he gets 3/3. Kind of hurts when he's eating your friendly minions' bubbles, but he gets really buff and he gets out of control. It's even better if the opponent starts playing minions with bubbles and you play this guy. He comes out, eats up those bubbles, take them away, and it gets buffed. If I have like 3 minions on the field, then I'm able to put out maybe like 2 Argent Squires and maybe have another minion out there that I then bubble with the Divine Shield or something. That's like 3 bubbles. He eats 3 bubbles. That's a 9/9 buff added onto his 3/3. So he's like a 12/12 creature, which is very difficult to deal with, especially if you're doing it on turn 3. And if the opponent doesn't have an answer, he could pretty much end games fairly quickly. My next card is a Scarlet Crusader. This is a 3-cost, a 3/1 attacking creature. It's kind of basically she's just here to feed her bubble to my Blood Knight. I mean, preferably, you know, I get a couple of her out on the field. I bring out the Blood Knight. He eats her bubble, and then he's super buff. So I just put a lot of creatures in there with bubbles already, trying to feed my Blood Knight. And if not, she's still a hard attacking creature. And if I don't have a Blood Knight to eat her bubble, well, still it takes 1 free hit from one of her enemies, and she's still out there doing some good damage. So it's she's still pretty tough. Thrallmar Farseer is another Windfury creature. It's just like the Young Dragon Hawk, just a little bit more expensive, a little more life. So it's a little bit more of a mid-game creature to play. I'll be playing the Dragon Hawks early usually. And if I need one that's going to survive a little bit more, I'll throw out a Thrallmar Farseer. It's also, if I already have good buffs in my hand, if I'm going second and I have the coin, you'll usually see me throw out the Farseer on turn 2, coin into him. Because he's kind of tougher, a little harder to get rid of with the 3 life, but just have him in there for a little bit of a mid-game answer. Blessing of Kings, big buff. It's a +4 attack, +4 health. This I'm usually trying to throw these on my Young Dragon Hawks or else my Thrallmar. Keeping them buffed up so they could attack twice. with the huge attack buff is pretty big strategy to this deck. Usually if I'm getting my Dragonhawk with kings on them, things could get out of control pretty quickly. So I got 2 of those in the deck. I got 2 Consecration. This is the Paladin's area effect. Clear does 2 damage to all enemies. It works in great with conjunction with Equality. You throw out an Equality, make all the minions' health drop to 1, and then consecrate them, and you pretty much clear the enemy's board. So it's a good way. It also does 2 damage also to the character, so it's a good way to add a little more pressure to killing your opponent's hero. I got Hammer of Wrath in here. It has a little bit of card draw, a little bit of direct damage. It's 4 costs. It deals 3 damage, and you could choose if that damage goes straight to the character's hero or one of their minions. I used to not have this card in this deck, but then I got a gold version of it by leveling up, and it's like, alright, now I got a golden flaming hammer, I'll put it in the deck. So it's here, a little bit of a card draw, a little bit of direct damage to help clear out some minions that I need to get rid of. Next I got Blessed Champion, just doubles a minion's attack. Pretty much save this card until I get a chance to double the attack of a minion that's already have a couple buffs on them. If I could get a Young Dragonhawk with Blessing of Might, bringing it to 4-1, and then maybe a Blessing of Kings, bringing it to a 8-5, and then put a Blessing of Champions on him to double his attack to 16, and then he's attacking twice in a round. I could basically kill somebody on turn 5 because my Dragonhawk just did 32 damage to him. So usually try to keep this card in play, save it for whenever my Wind Fury creatures have it, and could do some serious damage with it. Avenging Wrath I got in my deck. It's deal 8 damage randomly split among enemy characters. That means all the opponent's minions or the opponent's hero himself. It's really fun to play, really fun to watch. It just starts shooting things out, shoots out 8 little Avenging Wrath missiles. It also works very well in conjunction with the Equality as well. If you don't have the Consecrate and they still have a lot of minions needed to erase, play the Equality, make every minion's life go down to 1. That means each time an Avenging Wrath hits them, it takes them out of the equation, and you could pretty much clear the enemy's board most likely with this spell. Also, you're also hitting the character hero at points with the damage too. So it's just kind of a fun spell to have. It might not be the most efficient one, but I like having it just for the fun aspect of it. I got a Sunwalker in my deck. This is my only taunt in the deck. It's definitely not a taunt deck. I basically got her in the deck because she has a bubble that could be eaten by the Blood Knight. She's a tough taunt, so she could be out there taking a couple hits. Also, it's a gold version of her, so I have a golden taunt. I'm like, you know what? If I'm kind of on the fence about a card and I have a gold version of it, I'm like, alright, I'll slip it in just because it's gold. It's pretty. I got for a higher cost, my highest cost minion, I got Guardian of the Kings. Because I don't really have that much taunt, I seem to take a lot of damage early game if I don't get the board control quickly. So by the time I'm down to turn 7 and 7 mana, I might be needing a little bit of health. So it's kind of nice to bring out a tough creature and restore the health. Also, if I'm playing against a class like a mage or something that's a mage or someone that could easily pick off my weaker minions with just 1 health, it's kind of like I don't get a chance to buff them because they keep my board clear. Kind of nice to maybe throw out a little bit of tougher creature to actually survive some hits, so you can actually throw some buffs on them. And my last card is a Lay on Hands. Again, because I don't have no taunt, by the time I get to turn 8, I might be pretty low on health, so getting that 8th health also helps. Also, I don't really have that much card draw besides my 1 Hammer of Wrath and then my Blessing of Wisdoms, so because I have a lot of low cost creatures, I run through cards kind of quickly, so by the time I get around to turn 8, I might be pretty low on cards as well, so this card kind of helps at that point. So pretty much that's what I got rolling right now. We're just going to jump into some ranked matches right away and kind of see how it does. So we go to play. Going to jump into rank and play a ranked match. So keeping in mind this deck is all about the bubbling and the buffing. One of the biggest weaknesses to this deck is a mage deck, because a mage is good at controlling creatures and eliminating creatures off the board. And I want to keep my creatures on there so I get a chance to buff them. So, going against a Warlock, they have some removal. Keep the Blessing of Wisdom. I'm going first with Thrallmar. I wish I was going second so I could coin into him on turn 2, but we'll keep him for turn 3 play. Don't need a Sunwalker right now. Let's go ahead. Kick her out. You come back later, young lady. And I got my Bubble Eater. Turn 1, I do not have a play, so I'm going to end turn. Indeed, sir. Well played. Well played. Throwing out a taunt. One of the best cards that I think a Warlock has. 1 cost taunt. Bring him out there. If he actually could have coined into the Blood Demon one to give it more life, that would have been even better. Starting out kind of slow. I'm not sure I really want to silence anybody yet, but it's like I could throw out a recruit, but it's probably just gonna get eaten by the Voidwalker. It's not ideal right now at the moment. Started out with the early lead on me on board control, and actually, he's gonna pop his bubble to kill him. Probably pop the bubble to kill him and just attack me with his Voidwalker now that it's buffed up. Or he probably didn't have to do that. I mean, I was gonna have to run my guy into him anyways. So now I'm just gonna have to silence that Voidwalker because he just got buffed up to being too tough. So I'll go ahead and do that. And I could bubble my owl, but I want to kind of save my bubble for a little bit more of a tougher minion. Instead, because I don't really have the power to kill his Voidwalker yet, I'm going to put the Blessing of Wisdom on him, because it's most likely he's going to have to at least attack twice with them, or else that's just going to prevent him from attacking at all. If my owl was like 3-1, then I probably wouldn't have done it, because now he's attacking. I get 1 card and he's still alive, so he's probably going to at some point attack again, so I'll get another card out of it. Throws out another taunt, and we're going to turn 4. So he has 3 damage output right here. I'm thinking do the Thrallmar, give him a shield to try to keep him alive. Sees if he throws all his creatures at him trying to eliminate him, or if he has another way to eliminate the Thrallmar off the field. If not, I could be Blessing him, mine him next turn to kind of buff him up. So he's going to pop the bubble with 1 creature. Going to give me card draw when he attacks with that Voidwalker. Thinking of the best way to eliminate. He knows against the Pally, you don't want to leave a creature on the field with Wind Fury. That's kind of silly. I guess he's going to just ignore it this turn. Maybe he has an answer for it next turn. Or maybe he's trying to rush me down. But, I don't know. Pretty silly right there. Pretty silly. I will make my Thrallmar a pretty decent threat now. Go ahead and eliminate his Voidwalker. My bubble's gone. So now it's like, if I can't attack the Knife Juggler because he will die. So at this point it's like, do I want to eliminate one of his creatures, or do I just want to hit him with the for the 5 damage? I'm also going to bring out my Priestess now. I hope that she buffs him, so it's going to take more than a Knife Juggler to kill her. Now if I bring out a creature, then she might actually buff one of my other creatures instead of my Thrallmar, and I kind of want her to buff my Thrallmar, but at the same time, kind of want to start putting minions on the board, because the Knife Juggler, if they bring out creatures, I want the Knife Juggler to have more targets. So we're going to bring out the Divine Shield, bring out a recruit. That way, if he starts playing minions, maybe the daggers doesn't hit my Priestess or my Thrallmar, who I want to kind of keep around. So she buffed the wrong minion. That wasn't ideal. Of all the minions on the board, that was the least one I wanted to get buffed. I would have preferred if she would have buffed the Divine Shield or the Thrallmar. So giving me another card, I appreciate that card draw. Eliminating my Thrallmar.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Buffing up the Knife Juggler, threw the dagger at me. Making some efficient trades on her part, doing some damage. So, I'm hoping it doesn't have some kind of crazy destroy card play, because right now I'm going to bring out my... I think we're going to bring out... my Argent Squire, bring out a recruit, and then I'm going to send out my Bubble Eater to eat the 2 bubbles out on the field. That makes it a 9/9 creature. And we're going to eliminate the Cleric off the board. Still has the Knife Juggler. Hopefully she doesn't have an effective way to eliminate my Blood Knight. Definitely trying to figure out a way to do it. He's got to hit it, and she's going to make some minions first, so maybe he throws some daggers over the place before she kills her Knife Juggler. She's definitely worried about my Blood Knight. She's definitely looking through her cards to find an effective way to deal with them. So there's not an obvious way. She might even life tap to try to get a card to deal with my Blood Knight. It's definitely messing with her. Or him, I mean. Just because the name's Bun Bun, I shouldn't have assumed that it's a girl. Alright, so buff it up. Now he could do 5 damage to my Blood Knight. Probably was hoping the dagger would hit him if he had a way to do like 3 damage in his hand or something like that, but... So he realizes there's no point in running his Knife Juggler into my guy at the moment because he has a taunt now, so now I have to run my guy into him, so I might as well have done the damage. Alright, so I could Blessing of Kings my Blood Knight and get really silly, but right now I think my life is getting kind of low. I kind of want to play my Guardian Kings to heal myself, but if I clear his board, then that kind of eliminates some more of the threat. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill his Knife Juggler right now, and I kind of want to clear his board, so I'm actually gonna buff my recruit so that he's strong enough to take out his 3/3 creature. Gonna do the attack and bring out my Bubble Girl. I name her Bubbles. So next turn I got Blessing the Champion. If he doesn't throw out something too tough, I could do make this guy doing 18 damage. So he's doing 8 damage and just enough to kill me. So it looks like maybe I should have threw the heal on myself, but he had what he needed to do the damage. He was pretty much done next turn if he wasn't able to pull off that combo. A lot of people have the charge guy there in their deck. Let's try another one. So I lost a star. That was unfortunate. It seemed like I had control, but no, in this game you never know. You know, people have 3 or 4 cards in their hand. They have a full mana bar. Never know what people could pull off to try to beat you. It's never a win until it's a win. Yeah, go ahead, quote me on that. It's never a win until it's a win. So that makes tons of sense. Looking for another opponent. Maybe someone else is playing the game. Maybe. Here we go. We're finding an opponent. Let's try to redeem ourselves. Alright. I'll keep my hand of protection, my Argent Squire, get rid of the Blessing Champions. I will play another lock so they could kind of get minions on the board quickly. So we'll hold on to the Consecration. Blessing of Wisdom. It's not a bad starting hand. My opening play might just be the Argent Squire. And then turn 2 when it's attacking, if it still has its bubble still alive, I might give it the Blessing of Wisdom so it maybe has a couple of chances to attack and give me extra cards. Might want to hold on to the coin for a turn 3 Consecration if he starts playing out tough, weaker minions. A couple Flame Imps or something like that. So nothing on his first turn. Going to go ahead and throw out the Argent Squire. So we're going to go ahead and give my Argent Squire a Blessing of Wisdom. His Blood Mage down us gives him 1 spell damage right now. That's not going to help because I'm going to kill him right now, but he will get a draw a card from Death Rattle. So we're both drawing a card from this attack. My little friend, the Leper Gnome. I won't bring him out yet because I want to bubble up my girl again. Try to keep her alive for longer because she has card draw every time she attacks. So the more attacks I get with her, the better it is for me. Swamp Ooze. So I'm going to just ignore the Swamp Ooze for the moment. Attack the lock, see what I get. Still got my bubble going on the girl. I'll bring out my little green friend, Mr. Leper Gnome. And let's keep that Leper Gnome alive a little bit longer than necessary. Give him a little protection. And end turn. Now in his Hellfire range, good move on his part might be to attack my bubble girl so that her bubble disappears, and then Hellfire to kill my draw card girl to kill him. Oh, no. I don't know if that was quite an efficient trade. He was a 3-2 for a 2-2. I mean, I was gladly going to do that on my next turn if he would have just attacked me. That's what would have happened, so I'm not sure how efficient he was in that choice. Also, he's just doing damage to me and discarding a card. I don't know. Seems like a couple misplays to me. I'm going to go ahead. This girl's giving me card draw every time she attacks. So I'm not going to throw the kings on her because then she is even a bigger target. If I put the kings on my gnome, then it's like, well, who do I choose? The one that's attacking me and getting card draw, or the one doing serious damage? So first we'll just attack with her just to see what card I draw. Another Consecration. And we're going to buff up Little Gnome because nothing's scarier than a 6-5 green Leper Gnome coming at ya. Here he comes with the bubble protecting him. Serious damage coming his way. End turn.
I have no time for games.
Well, that is just silliness. We're going to have to silence her right away because that's just not cool. I do not want her taking one of my minions. They're my minions. I earned them. I pay the mana for them. You can't have them. So we're going to use our little Leper Gnome to go ahead and pop his bubble to kill her. And now that my bubble's popped, I'm going to put it right back on him. There you go. Have another bubble. Get some more card draw. And we'll just hold on to my Dragon Hawk. End turn. So, destroyed him. He's got 3 life for that, but he's taking a 2-hit damage for it. Took all his mana that turn, so that's kind of fine. I'm going to play my Dragon Hawk this turn. Or, am I? Let's see what card I get first before I do anything else. Blessing of Kings. Wow. Do I want to Blessing of Kings somebody? Do I want to Avenging Wrath and just throw 8 damage on them?
My responsibility.
I'm just gonna attack. Gonna do Avenging Wrath just because it's Avenging Wrath just because it's fun. Why not? I seem to be in pretty good shape on this game. I have lots of ways to kill them, and why not? Let's coin into the Dragon Hawk. I mean, if they don't kill the Dragon Hawk and I have a chance to buff them with Kings and Blessings of Might, then it gets silly. But he's already in trouble. He might need a Hellfire just to clear my board. Taunt's not really going to help him. Killing him is not going to help him. It's pretty much good GG people. I mean, how do you want to do it? You could just hammer them. Use my owl. And we're just going to say, well played, because we're going to buff up our Dragon Hawk. Hits him. And GG. That game went fairly well. A lot better than the first game versus the first Warlock. I can't talk well, and I'm not a very good editor. I don't edit videos, so you're just gonna watch this video and be like, this guy has issues. We'll play one more game so you can check out the bubble buffness of my paladin deck. And then I think that will call it for this video. So one more game, one more match. Lost the first one, won the second one. Let's see if we could try to pull out one more win. I think the 2 games so far has been pretty good at demonstrating the strategy behind the deck. And we're facing a mage. One of the toughest opponents to play with this deck is a mage. So if I could pull out a win here, I'd be happy about it. Equality. Let's see. Do we want to keep the equality? It's kind of early to be holding on to this for a while. So let's just get rid of that, see if we get some better early plays going. Got our Blessing of Kings. So we're sitting on a handful of buffs right now at the moment. We got an end turn. Well, that's not a good start. So like, do I want to burn my owl right off the bat on a 1-cost creature that he played? And the fact is, against a mage, I kind of do. I kind of do want to silence that mana worm. I'm thinking I'll play a recruit. He might just blast it down, but if he does, then at least he's not getting burned. I mean, if he blasts him down, he's not getting his buff from casting a different kind of spell. So, actually, he's coining, making the mana worm because the coin is considered a spell, giving himself some spell power, straight up attacking me. Another buff, as I drew a lot of buffs so far, so this is not great. So next turn, if I have a minion alive, if he doesn't clear my board, I could use the Kings on somebody. This turn, it's like, do I want to play my owl, or do I just want to throw the Blessing of Might on my guy and eliminate him? You know what? I kind of want to hold on to my owl. I'm just going to burn a Blessing of Might, eliminate his mana worm, and do a recruit. Couldn't let that. I mean, I could have used my silence, but then he would just use his 2 minions to eliminate my 2 minions, and then probably made something else to give him board control. I can't do a buff now because he eliminated my 1/1 recruit, which was to be expected, but that was his only play. Wow, another owl. Alright, we're gonna throw out the Crusader and end turn. She might ping off the bubble, then attack, or she might have another way to deal with them. If she ignores her, that would be fantastic, because then I could give her Blessing of Kings, but it doesn't look like she's going to survive for next turn. One of the reasons why it's so hard to play mage with this deck is because they just are really good at clearing your board of minions, so you can't actually buff them unless you like hold on to them for a while, and it's like, I mean, I could probably play another one, but she's probably just going to ping off the bubble and then I use the 1/1 to kill him, and it's like, And because I have 2 owls, I'm actually just going to silence them. Mainly because I kind of want her to have 2 targets to try to eliminate. Although if she has an area effect, she could do it easily. But if I could get one of these creatures to survive on my turn that they attack, I could give them some kings on them. But like I said, mages are really good at just keeping your board clear. And well, that was a choice. You made a choice. And I am fine with that choice. I am happy about that. We're gonna kings our owl. There you go. Take a kings. Now you're 6/5. Now we're just gonna make you even crazier to deal with, because I want you to eliminate their berserker. So your berserker's dead. Let's clear his board this time. And he has tons of ways that he could probably do 3 damage, so my owl probably won't be surviving, but at least both our boards are cleared. And if he can't deal with my owl, well, all the better for me. Well, that was not ideal for him, especially since I could silence him. By silencing him, I am eliminating his taunt and his bubble. And now I'm going to bubble my minion. And do I want to give him kings and then go straight for him? Nah, I need to eliminate his creature. He still has tons of life, so I'm not trying to burn him down or anything like that. And instead of bubbling him up and then buffing him up and getting sheep, I'm just going to throw another creature on the board. That way, if she does find a way to eliminate the owl, I'll put my kings on my bubbled Scarlet Crusader. Maybe I'll flame strike this turn to get rid of my 2 owls and my bubble. So my guys are frozen. I'm going to throw the taunt out this turn. And just make a recruit because I don't really have any other play that I could do. She's going to probably fire blast my owl. And then if she has a sheep or something, maybe she'll sheep my taunt. And then run her 1/4 creature into my 3/1. Here comes the Fire Blast first. Gotta go for the 9/1 creature. Are you gonna run your guy into my shield girl? Do you have a way to deal with her? Can you deal with my Sunwalker? Checking your cards to see if you can. Are you gonna just run your mage into her? Just to pop the bubble? I guess so. Does she have a fireball to follow that up with? She might have a fireball in her hand. She might ping the shield with the minion. Now fireballer to just eliminate it. Oh, no. Well, that makes the fireball cheaper, so you get the minion and a cheap fireball. There's the fireball. So that's fine. We're going to blast her mage off the face of the planet, get a card. We're going to Kings are Scarlet Crusader. Do some damage. Do some damage. We have 1 mana. Let's throw out a Divine Shield. Okay. And turn. So now she didn't use the cheat before. I don't know if she was saving it or else. I mean, oh, why would she do that? Why wouldn't she kill my Scarlet Crusader? Does she have a Pyroblast? Is she getting ready to burn me down? That was kind of a strange choice on her part. I thought when I saw that Rocketeer come in, I'm like, oh, okay, she's going to kill my Scarlet Crusader, but apparently she's not going to do that. So I'm going to eliminate this girl right off the bat, attack, and just make everything I have. She must have a Pyroblast in her hand. It was just trying to get me down to less than 10 life or something like that so that she could blow me up. So now I gotta be aware that I don't want my life to go below 10 because that would put me in kill range probably for her. She might have 2 Pyroblasts in her hand. I don't know. But I got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage on her next turn. Oh, got a sheep. She might have just drew that, but definitely helps her out. It's definitely going to slow down everything I'm doing. She wants to Fire Blast somebody. Gotta kill my gnome, not my gnome. Do I want to shield one of my creatures? We're just gonna enter. I definitely don't feel comfortable at the moment freezing all my minions. That buys her an extra turn. Doing Frostbolt. Ice Lance. If she's holding on to a Pyroblast, then I'm going to be done next turn. Which, the way she's been playing, she's been acting like she does. So, I'm probably done for after this. I'm going to protect my Dragonite to try to keep her alive, make a recruit. But, if a Pyroblast doesn't come and burn my face off right now, I'll be really surprised. Because she was playing as if she had one the whole time, so... Maybe she doesn't. It's kind of. Is this it? Is that the card we're thinking? Oh, but it's kind of like a fireball. I'm not sure why she's making creatures if she already has the game. Guess we have to wait another turn and see what happens. So we are going to. We're definitely going to Blessing of Wisdom him and get 1 card draw, see what happens. Ah, that helps. We are then going to consecrate his minions away. And then, do I have 6 damage? I believe I do. I think it's GG. And by the skin of my teeth, I'm able to beat my arch nemesis. Actually, let's kill him with another card draw. I forgot I even had another attack to give me more card draws. Let's see what I was going to have. But there you go. That's a win. I have a board full of 1/1 minions, and that's what I used to wipe her out. Boom. Back up to my original rank 18. My little Sorcerer Apprentice face. So, got the win. Yay! Victory! So that's pretty much what my Paladin deck is about. Get those weak minions on the board. Protect them. Buff them up. If I want to throw out something crazy, have my Blood Knight eat the bubbles, all the bubbles in sight. It's okay when he eats my own team's bubbles. Whenever he eats enemy's team's bubble, I mean, one of the greatest feelings in the world. I mean, you throw out a Sunwalker with a bubble on it, you're like, oh, I got this big, tough taunt, and she has a bubble on it. Bring out your Blood Knight, be like, feed me that bubble, please. And it's like, everything is right in the world for that split moment of a second. So, anyway, that's my Bubble Buffness deck. I'll be showing on my next video my Hunter Predator deck, which is based mainly around well, the beast energy of the hunter and their trap cards. So look out for that video. It should be coming up soon. I've been Calabus. This has been Hearthstone. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.